we've got a little bug. So, welcome back. And first of all, I have a question. When you think Apple, what do you think of? Do you think expensive, premium? Well, today's video is actually going to be about an Apple product. However, I'm cheap and I'm not buying a big expensive iMac. Oh no. This here is an Apple iMac A1207, so a 2007 Mac that apparently doesn't work, and it only cost me £12, and obviously with the big coronavirus going on I can't exactly go and collect it, so £7 postage, not too bad. Now it says here that it is as described, and as you can see, hello, I have a few things, la la la. And basically what they say is they switch it on and it doesn't get further than this Apple logo, which to me says either the drive is dead or the operating system is dead. Now it just so happens that I actually have a DMG file of Leopard. As much as I'd like to use Snow Leopard, I don't have anything for that. And while I have ordered a disc for it, we're just gonna have to settle with this 16GB USB, which I don't know if it's gonna boot because it's USB 3. But this has Leopard on it. I flashed it with Transmac because I don't have a Mac that I could use to sort of restore it with. And we'll have to see if that does. Now, I don't have the original power cable for this, and that is because, actually, if we have a look on here, yeah, looks a bit dirty, doesn't it? Now, when this arrived, on your normal power cable, you have 3 prongs, don't you? Well, on our one, when it arrived, it pivot is the word I'd say. It's one of the legs of it has completely snapped, so I pulled that out and threw it away because it was useless. But this thing's actually pretty heavy for what it is. iMac. This is actually quite big, like in comparison to a server there. This thing is a big boy, even though it only has a Core 2 in it, and allegedly some old Radeon graphics. And to be fair, it's not in too bad shape for £12. Like, I'll take that any day. If we have a quick nosy around the back here, we can see this is the first impact of shipping, and I believe this is where the power cable would have been, because to me those prongs, they could probably do something like that. And if we have a quick look IO wise, we have a headphone jack, I'm assuming a microphone, we have 3 USB, 2 Firewire, I believe that is, the 1394. We have Ethernet, and we have, I believe that's like a mini DVI, perhaps DisplayPort. And back there we have the power connector, and that's the bit I'm interested in. I do, of course, have a replacement power connector, but not quite a genuine one. We're just gonna have to go with your average kettle lead, which I'm sure will be absolutely fine. And I'm also gonna get Ethernet plugged into this. I did look online to see if this thing supported internet recovery, but apparently that's only supported in the 2012 and newer Macs. And yeah, we're a few years out from 2012 here. This is 2007 stuff. So I'm going to grab our Ethernet, and it is also a total mess in here at the moment as I'm selling off a bunch of old stuff. So I've been eBaying an awful lot. Now let's come round here. We have our Ethernet. I'm going to plug that in. And there we go. I'm going to put our USB in as well. Now, I also don't have a Mac keyboard, so hopefully this HP one works just as well. I do believe there are key combos to access various things, such as the recovery menu. But you know what? We'll figure that out when the time comes to it. This is assuming it even actually works. But for 12 quid, I mean, I could have bought a working one of these for 25 quid, but it's too expensive, especially for an Apple product. Out here, we only spend money on servers and, in my case, Surface products. And yes, that is also a lot of memory in horrifically, it's not properly stored, is it? But it's fine. Okay. That is in theory ready. All we need is some power. So, pop that in there. Now that power cable seems snug, so I'm going to assume it's in. The USB is in, we have our keyboard, we have our mouse, Might push this back a little bit. And oh yeah, the base actually still had the sticker on at the back. So even though this is horrifically dirty, around the back there it's just pristine. So that's all plugged in. I guess what we do now, we switch the power on and see if we get any explosions. Favorite part. No explosions yet. Now, I believe it's Alt and R to put the thing into recovery mode. And that's assuming this thing even turns on, so that's the power button with the white dot. We have an Apple logo. It's a very dim Apple logo, bear in mind, but... Oh, so I'm holding Alt and R, and we are getting a spinner. I assume that's good news. I'll let go of that now. I think I'm just gonna let it sit for a bit and see if it boots. Yeah, let's give it a moment. Well, after a bit of fiddling around, it turns out holding Alt gets it to this boot menu. However, we still only have the option for Macintosh HD, which doesn't boot. So I'm gonna have a bit more play around. It's not detecting the USB, and I believe that's because it's a USB 3 drive. So what we actually need is a USB 2 drive. So I'm gonna have to go and see if I can find one of those. Okay, I've made a new USB. This one seems to be formatted better. Just gonna pop that in now. And this one is also a USB 2 disc. So let's see if this fixes our problem. So it says just to hold the Alt key. And that should give us a boot menu. There we go. Mac OS X install DVD. Now, because this is on USB 2, you can just see it flickering away there. It's probably going to take an awfully long time to boot, so I think I might just leave this to do its job. Okay, our display has been bashed in transit, but there's not really a whole lot we can do about that. Use English for the main language. Cool, welcome to the OS X. So we want disk utility. Now why are we getting these graphical glitches? Is that the screen or is that the GPU? So we have our Macintosh HD here. What I'm going to do, I take it we should erase that. And then I think I'm just going to let this erase and reinstall, and we'll see what it does when it finishes. Yep, I think we have a GPU fault, which would explain why it gets stuck. And annoyingly, even when you're in the installer, you can't see about this Mac, you can only see about the installer. Apparently we have to remove a kext file. So you can see here we've just got a random line. There you go, look, there's another display glitch. It's actually quite funny, as bad as it is. But yeah, that's certainly where the issue lies. And occasionally these up here will start to like pivot as well. But yeah, we'll see what it does. I think though when we reboot it, it's not going to do anything. And I think what's going to happen is it's just going to get stuck at the Apple logo again because it can't load the driver. But you never know, we'll see. Let it do its thing. Safe boot did it. If we hold shift when booting, we can boot into safe mode, which in theory disables the GPU. And all we have to do from here is figure out the kext, and then in theory we're good to go. So let's find out a bit about this Mac. So we have a 2.16 gigahertz Intel Core 2 Duo and 1 gigabyte of RAM. So in theory, where our graphics display is, yeah, so I think, looking online, the VRAM is apparently faulty on these and you have to reflow them, which I've never done before. And now I also don't know how to... I've had a quick look on eBay for replacement motherboards, but not a lot comes up. Let's see if internet works. Oh, yeah, there you go. We're getting some glitching already. Let's see if we can get to eBay. Let's delete all of that. Oh, we actually have a Google search there. Nice. eBay. So it is interesting as well. The resolution is actually 1680 by 1050, which for then, that would have been huge. I don't actually know if we're going to be able to load this up. So I'd have thought there's probably going to be some stuff in here. Or maybe not about the GPU, but I'll play the video now. This thing, it did some pretty funny things when we tried to do it. Built-in eyesight, so I'm assuming that's our camera up there. Okay, so we do actually have a Western Digital drive. Not bad. Nifty stuff. But it doesn't look like it's going to load eBay. I think we need Chrome or something like that. I'd love to do a software update on this thing, but I don't think it's physically capable of it. Oh wow, this is like the old... This is like the Windows one. .1058. I give up with using Yammer, but as you can see, we deauthorize Audible account. Okay, I didn't see that. But yeah, for £12, we do have a functioning Mac to an extent. We're just gonna have to figure out how I disable the text. Check for updates. Could not be contacted. Fantastic. Cool. Well, I'm going to, I guess, download some bits on this, remove that text file, and hopefully job done. So I've just done a bit of cleaning up. We now have the old X3620 Model 3, one of my first of my 4 main hypervisors, or one of the first. That just slid in there. You can see how very close it is because this server here is on rails and these new servers are stacked up. As I'm still waiting for parts from Germany. As you can see, this one's on and running. Virtually silent. Lovely. So yeah, that one there is now racked up. It only just fit, as I mentioned. It was a tight squeeze to get that one in. And then over here, I've relocated the DL380p Generation 8 that was on my desk. That barely just fitting under the power server. In fact, I think it is lifting it up a tiny bit. But the power server seems happy. And if you're wondering what that error LED is, I'm not even joking when I say this. The log says user error, but it doesn't say what user error. So that's interesting. I've mounted the £1 server up here. I've yet to get rails for it, but it's there. The previous £15 server, that is also here. That I also don't have rails for. You can see it's all on a slight incline until I get rails. Because right now only this one's railed, so this is sitting on top of this, which is, well, it will eventually end up sitting on top of that if I'm not careful. But yeah, and then we have the new £15 server just there, and we'll have a video on that at some point. I've given the desk a proper clean though. As you can see, we've got the Mac there, we've got the RAM over on the side, we've got the grid card there that I'm kind of planning on selling. I'm not 100% sure if I want to. Under that is just the documentation for the DL380G4. And you know what? This thing's actually just finished doing updates, so let's power it on again and see if it boots. I have also hidden a little soundbar underneath that we'll need to Bluetooth connect it to. Now, if this doesn't boot or it boots with a bunch of graphical glitches, I just need to boot into a safe boot, I believe it's called, or safe mode, similar to Windows. No graphics drivers get loaded. and we just need to delete the AMD display drivers. And if you're wondering why we're doing that, it forces the Mac to go into software rendering mode. And what that means is, yep, we do lose a lot of graphical performance, but at the same time it means this thing is actually usable. But yeah, I'll see how far I can get this, but to be honest with you, I'm happy that this Mac works. We do have our speakers working. In fact, actually, we can probably test them, can't we? We need to turn our volume up a bit. Oh. Oh no, you are wrong. Okay, apparently I just don't know how to... The problem is I can't tell if it's muted or not. Does that mean you're muted? There you go, that must be unmuted. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out, but oh, iTunes has come and said hello. Import CDs, play this, sync to your iPod. Wow. iPod. iTunes DJ. Oh, fantastic. We have no music. Yeah, software update required. And we can't do a software update required because there are no updates available. Now, did number 4 work? It did. So that means now we try number 5. And I've basically got to keep doing this until I find a version that doesn't work. I'm probably going to try and skip, and let's see if we can try like number 7. That'll work, right? But yeah, that's sort of where we're going with this. So until next time, I'm actually really digging this place now that it's a bit cleaner. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.